Kingdom Hearts is an action role-playing game developed and published by Square in 2002 for the PlayStation 2 video game console. It's the first game in the Kingdom Hearts series, and is the result of a collaboration between Squaresoft and the Walt Disney Company. The game combines characters and settings from Disney animated features with those from Square's Final Fantasy series. The story follows a young boy, Sora, as he is thrown into an epic battle against the forces of darkness. He is joined by Donald Duck, Goofy, and other classic Disney characters who help him on his quest. The game was a departure from Square's standard role-playing games, introducing a substantial action-adventure element to the gameplay. Kingdom Hearts has an all-star voice cast and includes many of the Disney characters' official voice actors. It was longtime Square character designer Tetsuya Nomura's first time in a directorial position. Kingdom Hearts was praised for its unusual combination of action and role-playing, as well as its unexpectedly harmonious mix of Square and Disney elements. It was a dominating presence in the 2002 holiday season, receiving numerous year-end Best Video Game awards, and went on to achieve Sony Greatest Hits status. Since its release, the Kingdom Hearts series has sold over 20 million copies worldwide, and the first game prompted numerous sequels. Kingdom Hearts is currently the 9th best-selling PlayStation 2 game of all time and the most commercially successful entry in the series to date. Gameplay. Kingdom Hearts is influenced by its parent franchise, Final Fantasy, and carries gameplay elements over into its own action-based, hack-and-slash system. The main battle party consists of 3 characters, Sora, Goofy, and Donald Duck. Sora is directly controlled by the player from a third-person camera angle. All other party members are computer-controlled, though the player can customize their behavior to an extent through the pause menu. Donald and Goofy comprise the party in most areas, but nearly every level features a character who may replace them. For instance, Jack Skellington can join the player's party in Halloween Town, but cannot accompany the player elsewhere. In some worlds, the party changes its appearance, has abilities unique to that world, or both. The party can fly in Neverland, acquire aquatic forms in Atlantica, which enable them to survive underwater, and gain Halloween costumes in Halloween Town to blend in with the locals. Like traditional role-playing games, Kingdom Hearts features an experience points system that determines character development. As enemies are defeated, the player characters gain experience and grow stronger, gaining access to new abilities. Unlike other games of its type, Kingdom Hearts allows a degree of character development customization through a short tutorial found at the beginning of the game. The tutorial allows the player to select from one of 3 main attributes: a strength, defense, or magic, a for Sora to excel in and 1 to lack in. By choosing certain options, the player may manipulate how Sora learns abilities, grows statistically, and gains levels. Donald, Goofy, and any other additional party members are assigned specific areas of strength from the outset. Donald excels in magic, while Goofy excels in defense and special attacks. The game progresses linearly from one story event to the next, usually presented as a cutscene, though there are numerous side quests available that provide benefits to the characters. Players may also choose the order in which they tackle some areas. Most of the gameplay occurs on interconnected field maps where battles take place. Combat in Kingdom Hearts occurs in real time and involves pressing buttons to initiate attacks by the on-screen character. An action menu, similar to those found in Final Fantasy games, found at the bottom left of the screen, provides other combat options such as using magic and items, although players can also assign selected magic spells that can be instantly used whilst holding the shoulder button. As players progress through the game, they can receive certain Disney characters as summons, such as Dumbo and Tinkerbell, each with their own unique abilities. There is also a context-sensitive option at the bottom of the menu, usually used for interacting with the environment or performing special attacks. This menu is manipulated by using the right analog stick or digital pad, while movement is controlled by the left analog stick, allowing the player to navigate the menu while avoiding or approaching enemies. Sora, along with his allies, both possess a horsepower meter and an MP meter, which increases as they gain experience and level up. The MP meter is divided into various sections that are used up whenever that character performs magic. With more powerful magic using more MP can be replenished by performing melee attacks or using items such as ether. The HP meter determines the character's health, reducing whenever a character takes damage, although it can be replenished by using potions or healing spells. If one of Sora's allies run out of health, they will be knocked out for a while until someone heals them. However, if Sora loses all of his health, the game ends and the player must resume play from the beginning of an area or boss. Defeating enemies causes various orbs to fall. Green orbs which replenish health, blue orbs which restore MP and yellow orbs which represent money, the game's currency, which can be used to purchase new items. Gummy Ship. The Gummy Ship is the mode of travel between the various worlds in Kingdom Hearts. The gameplay for piloting the vessel is very different from the rest of the game as it switches to a rail shooter format. The player controls the Gummy Ship from a rear third-person perspective as it travels in an outer space setting. While traveling, the player must avoid obstacles and defend against enemy ships that attempt to destroy the player's vessel by firing missiles or ramming it. Surviving the route allows access to the next world. At the beginning of the game, there are few options available to customize the vessel, but as the game progresses, new weapons, engines, and armor become available. Different pre-designed blueprints can be found throughout the game that can be used to quickly construct gummy ships. Geppetto also gives the player different gummy ship designs based on the number of Heartless defeated. Plot, setting. The universe of Kingdom Hearts is a collection of various levels, referred to as worlds, through which the player must progress. 13 can be accessed in the game and 1, Disney Castle, is shown in cutscenes. Additional worlds are mentioned by various characters, but are inaccessible because they have been destroyed by the Heartless, beings of darkness. 10 of the worlds are based on Disney fiction, primarily from the Disney animated features canon, and the other 4 were created by Square specifically for the game. The graphics and characters of each world were designed to resemble the artwork style of its respective Disney film. Each Disney world is inhabited by characters from their respective film. Hercules and Philoctetes inhabit Olympus Colosseum, while Aladdin, Princess Jasmine, and Jafar inhabit Agrabah. Each world is disconnected from the others and exists separately. Most characters in the worlds are unaware of the other world's existence, with few exceptions. Players travel from one world to another via Gummy Ship. The worlds created specifically for the game mirror the overall appearance of the other worlds and feature either new characters or characters from several Final Fantasy games. The new worlds include Destiny Islands, where the story opens. Traverse Town, which serves as a launching point for most of the game. Hollow Bastion, which many of the Final Fantasy characters call home. And End of the World, a large, dark world created from the remnants of various worlds consumed by the Heartless. The main characters travel from world to world to seal each keyhole. This protects the world from the Heartless and ultimately from destruction. They also try to minimize their interaction with characters of other worlds to maintain a balance of separation. This sometimes requires Sora, Donald, and Goofy to blend in with the world inhabitants by changing their physical appearance. Characters. The collaboration between Disney and Square resulted in a mixture of familiar Disney and Square characters, as well as several new characters created and designed by Tetsuya Nomura. The primary protagonist of the game is Sora, a 14-year-old boy chosen to wield the Keyblade, a large key-like weapon for battling darkness. The game also features 2 friends from his home world, Riku and Kairi. For most of the game, Sora is joined by Donald Duck and Goofy. Donald, the court wizard, and Goofy, captain of the Royal Guard, were sent from Disney Castle to find the Keyblade. The 3 join forces to search for King Mickey Mouse, Kairi, and Riku. The primary antagonist is Ansem, who seeks power and knowledge by using dark beings called the Heartless. The Heartless, hearts corrupted by darkness, serve as most of the enemies encountered in the game and come in a variety of shapes and sizes. As a game meant to explore the fictional universes of various Disney films, Over 100 Disney characters are featured in various capacities. While many serve as major characters in the story, others appear in cameo roles, such as the 101 Dalmatians playing a part in a side quest. Most worlds also feature a Disney villain whom the player must defeat. The player can summon various Disney characters to fight alongside Sora in battle, causing Donald and Goofy to withdraw from the battlefield for the duration of the summon. Available summon characters include the Genie from Aladdin, Tinkerbell from Peter Pan, and Simba from The Lion King, among others. Square also incorporated several characters from the Final Fantasy series into the game, though the characters were slightly altered to fit the game's backstory. On Destiny Islands, the player meets younger versions of Tidus and Wakka from Final Fantasy X and Selphie from Final Fantasy VIII. In Traverse Town, the player encounters Squall Enhart from Final Fantasy VIII as well as Aerith, Cid, and Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII. Riku from Final Fantasy X was originally set to appear, but was replaced by Yuffie. Cloud and Sephiroth, both from Final Fantasy VII, make appearances in Olympus Coliseum, where the player can fight them in tournaments. The emphasis on characters from later Final Fantasy installments stems from Nomura's hesitation to use characters he did not design. The game also uses other Final Fantasy icons such as the Moogle to mediate item synthesis. Story: Kingdom Hearts begins on Destiny Islands, where Sora, Riku, and Kairi live. The three friends want to leave the islands to explore new worlds and have prepared a raft for this purpose. One night, the islands are attacked by shadow creatures the Heartless. Sora seeks out his friends, finding Riku, who disappears into a dark portal. At the same time, Sora obtains the Keyblade, a weapon effective against the Heartless. However, the islands are destroyed and Sora drifts into space. Meanwhile, King Mickey has left his own world to deal with the increasing numbers of Heartless and left instructions for Donald and Goofy to find the key that will protect the worlds from the encroaching darkness. Donald and Goofy use the gummy ship to reach Traverse Town, where Sora has drifted. Sora meets Leon, who explains that the Heartless are beings that consume hearts, and that the Keyblade is the only weapon capable of defeating them. A man named Ansem is said to have studied the Heartless. Sora then meets Donald and Goofy, and the three decide to travel together Donald and Goofy to find King Mickey, and Sora to find Kairi and Riku. The three go to various worlds based on Disney films, finding that the Keyblade also locks keyholes, passages to the heart of a world which, when sealed, prevent it from being consumed by the Heartless. Meanwhile, a group of Disney villains, led by Maleficent, seek out the 7 Princesses of Heart to unlock the final keyhole that leads to Kingdom Hearts, a repository of knowledge and power and the source of all hearts. This group includes Riku. Maleficent promises that she will help him find Kairi in exchange for his support. Maleficent sows distrust in Riku, telling him that Sora abandoned him and Kairi for new friends and the Keyblade. An increasingly antagonistic Riku finds Kairi's body, but cannot find her heart. Sora and his friends eventually arrive at Hollow Bastion, Ansem's homeworld and Maleficent's current headquarters. Riku takes the Keyblade from Sora, claiming to be the true Keyblade master and that Sora only received it in his absence. Donald and Goofy, having been explicitly ordered to follow the key, reluctantly leave Sora for Riku. Sora challenges Riku, stating that his heart derives strength from his friends. His friends return to him, as does the Keyblade. Shamed, Riku meets a cloaked man who goads him to give in to the darkness. Meanwhile, the three engage and defeat Maleficent. Sora finds Kairi's body and confronts Riku, who reveals that he is possessed by Ansem. Ansem explains that Kairi is a princess of heart, and that her heart has been hiding within Sora's body since Destiny Islands was destroyed. After defeating Ansem, Sora impales himself with Ansem's Keyblade, which is designed to unlock hearts, releasing both his and Kairi's heart. Kairi's heart returns to her body, in turn completing the final keyhole, while Sora becomes a Heartless. Kairi recognizes Sora's Heartless and the light in her heart restores him to human form. He resolves to confront Ansem. Ansem is found in End of the World, the combined remnants of worlds taken by the Heartless. Ansem seeks Kingdom Hearts, the place in which the hearts of all worlds and people are born, hypothesizing it to be the ultimate darkness. Upon opening the door to Kingdom Hearts, however, it reveals its light, overwhelming and destroying Ansem. Beyond the door are King Mickey and Riku, and they help Sora and the others close the door, as there are many Heartless beyond it. Mickey and Sora use their Keyblades to lock the door. The worlds lost to the Heartless reconstruct themselves. As the Destiny Islands reform, Kairi returns there while Sora is forced to part with her. The game concludes as Sora, Donald, and Goofy resolve to find Riku and Mickey. Development. The initial idea for Kingdom Hearts began with a discussion between Shinji Hashimoto and Hayabu Sakaguchi about Super Mario 64. They were planning to make a game with freedom of movement in 3 dimensions like Super Mario 64 but lamented that only characters as popular as Disney's could rival a Mario game. Tetsuya Nomura, overhearing their conversation, volunteered to lead the project and the 2 producers agreed to let him direct. A chance meeting between Hashimoto and a Disney executive in an elevator Square and Disney has previously worked in the same building in Japan allowed Hashimoto to pitch the idea directly to Disney. Nomura struck down a number of proposals from Disney in order to pursue his own concept featuring an original character not based on a Disney property. The production team consisted of over 100 members from both Square and Disney Interactive. The game began development in February 2000 and originally focused more on the gameplay with a simple story to appeal to Disney's target age range. After executive producer Hayabu Sakaguchi told director Tetsuya Nomura the game would be a failure if it did not aim for the same level as the Final Fantasy series, Nomura began to develop the story further. When choosing the Disney worlds to include in the game, Nomura and his team tried to pick worlds that had distinctively different looks. They also tried to take into account worlds with Disney characters that would be interesting. Thanks to support from Disney's then-president and current chairman and chief executive Bob Iger, the team had few restrictions on which worlds they could use from the Disney franchises. However, they tried to remain within each character's boundaries set by their respective Disney films. In June 2013, Nomura stated the name of the game came from him thinking about Disney theme parks, especially Animal Kingdom. However, Nomura could not get the IP with just Kingdom, so the development team began to think about Heart as a core part of the story, so they decided to combine the two to form Kingdom Hearts. Additional content was added to the North American release that was absent in the initial Japanese release, new optional bosses, one of which was named after the winner of the official website's name and game sweepstakes, an extra difficulty level, and a teaser of Kingdom Hearts 2 accessible by meeting certain criteria. Nomura included the teaser in order to gauge fan reaction to the possibility of a sequel. He felt that if the idea was unpopular, then it would be best to leave certain events in the game unexplained. The new content was later added to the Japanese re-release titled Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Final Mix also included additional content such as new items, cutscenes, and enemies. The new content further hinted at plotlines that would be explained in sequels. Some content omitted from Kingdom Hearts was later added into Kingdom Hearts 2. A world based on The Lion King, for instance, was unfeasible because an additional program was required to process movement on 4 legs, a necessity since Sora would become a lion in that world. Due to time constraints, the developers left out an optional boss battle, similar to the Sephiroth battle, against Tifa Lockhart. She was later included in Kingdom Hearts 2 as a more developed character. Promotion: Kingdom Hearts was announced at the Electronic Entertainment Expo in May 2001. Initial details were that it would be a collaboration between Square and Disney Interactive and would feature worlds developed by both companies and Disney characters. New characters were designed by Nomura and included Sora, Riku, Kairi, and the Heartless. A playable demo was available at the Tokyo Game Show in 2001. The gameplay of the demo showcased many action role-playing game elements that would be included in the final product. To help market the English release of the game, Square launched the official website in April 2002, which featured trailers, a name and game sweepstakes, and other internet content. On May 14, 2002, a press release announced a list of the English voice actors. The list included Haley Joel Osment, David Gallagher, and Hayden Panettiere as the three new characters introduced in the game. It also announced that many of the Disney characters would be voiced by the official voice actors from their respective Disney films. Other marketing efforts included auctions of the game and related items before the North American release and a consumer demo day in San Francisco, California. Audio, musical score. Yoko Shimomura composed the music of Kingdom Hearts. While there are arranged melodies derived from previous Disney films, most of the soundtrack consists of original themes written specifically for the game by Shimomura. The opening orchestration and ending credits theme were arranged and orchestrated by Kaoru Wada and performed by the New Japan Philharmonic Orchestra. The main vocal theme for the original Japanese release is titled Hikari. The English version of Hikari, Simple and Clean, was used in the Western releases and the Japanese re-release, Final Mix. Both versions were composed and performed by Hikaru Utada. Her involvement, along with the Japanese song title, was announced in January 2002. Utada was the only singer Nomura had in mind for the Kingdom Hearts theme song. This marked the first time Utada had produced a song for a video game. The single, Hikari, was released in Japan on March 20, 2002 and proved to be very popular. By August 2002, it had sold over 860,000 copies in Japan. The Kingdom Hearts soundtrack was released on a 2-CD set on March 27, 2002 in Japan and a year later in the United States. The soundtrack was later included in the Kingdom Hearts original soundtrack complete, which was released in Japan on March 28, 2007. Music from Kingdom Hearts was also included in Yoko Shimomura's Best Works compilation album Dramatica. Voice cast: Kingdom Hearts featured well-known voice actors for both the Japanese and English versions. The Japanese version featured Mayuri Rino as Sora, Raizo Uchida as Keri, and Mamoru Yano as Riku. Other notable voice actors included Kaiki Yamadara, Hideo Ishikawa, and Mamoru Sakamoto. A special effort was made to preserve the official voice actors of characters from the Disney movies used in Kingdom Hearts. Some of the voice actors from the related television series or direct-to-video sequels were chosen over the original voice actors from films, where applicable. The English version featured Haley Joel Osment as Sora, David Gallagher as Riku, and Hayden Panettiere as Keri. Other notable voice actors included Billy Zane, David Boreanaz, James Woods, and Mandy Moore. Reception: Kingdom Hearts received positive reviews and sales figures. During the first 2 months of its North American release it was one of the top 3 highest-selling video games and was among the top-selling titles during the 2002 Christmas and holiday season. In November 2002, UBS Warburg listed it as the 6th highest console game in terms of sales during the week of November 5. At the end of April 2003, Square announced that Kingdom Hearts had sold its millionth copy in the United States, which made it eligible for PlayStation's greatest hit status, and over 3.0 million worldwide. Sales reached 1.2 million in Japan in the first quarter of 2004, and broke 4.0 million worldwide. In December 2005, the NPD Group listed it as one of the top 10 best-selling PlayStation 2 titles of all time in North America. As of December 2006, Kingdom Hearts had shipped over 5.6 million copies worldwide with 1.1 million in PAL regions, 1.5 million in Japan, and 3.0 million in North America. By October 2013, the series has sold more than 20 million units worldwide. Critical response: the game received high ratings among reviewers. In IGN's Best of 2002 awards, it was nominated for PS2's Best Game of 2002 Editor's Choice Award, and was a runner-up for PS2's Best Game of 2002 Reader's Choice Award. In 2007, the website listed Kingdom Hearts as the 22nd best PlayStation 2 game of all time. Critics commended the visuals, orchestral score, voice acting, and hybrid action-adventure and role-playing feel to the game. IGN named it Best Art Style Direction, runner-up for Best CG Graphics, and honorable mention for Best Animation in IGN's 2003 list of best-looking games on PS2. GameSpy listed Kingdom Hearts twice in its top 25 video game cinematic moments. GamePro stated that the graphics were gorgeous, giving them high marks. The audio was also praised, particularly the quality of the voiceovers and musical score. GamePro had positive comments on the overall audio and gave that aspect a perfect score. Criticism about the gameplay was mixed. Many reviews complained that the camera was at times frustrating and the gummy ship portions were out of place. GameSpot cited tedious gameplay and gummy ship sections as pale imitations of the Star Fox series, but stated that the combat was fun, particularly the boss fights. Dengeki Online commented on the camera controls, saying that the camera would often run into objects while being rotated by the player. GamePro compared the battle system to old N64 Zelda games, and had positive comments about Donald and Goofy's artificial intelligence. GameSpot commented that the concept of mixing the serious elements of Final Fantasy with the lighter elements of Disney seemed impossible, but was pulled off quite well. Because of that, they awarded Kingdom Hearts Best Crossover since Capcom vs. SNK in their 2002 Best and Worst of the Year awards. GameSpy noted that the periodic departure from the main plot into the Disney side stories was disappointing, and when the original plot builds to a climax, the story fails to gel thanks to a confusing mishmash of vague terms and symbolism that probably made more sense in the director's head than in this final product. Aside from the plot, they stated that the overall package was worth playing through to the end. G4TV awarded it Best Story at their 2003 G4ia Awards show. Fan response was also positive. Kingdom Hearts was voted as the 19th best game of all time by readers of the Japanese magazine Famitsu, 16th by the users of website GameFAQs, and 92nd by IGN users. Kingdom Hearts ranked 9th on IGN's most recent top 25 picoseconds 2 games of all time list. It was also a nominee for the Best Game Award from the CESA Game Awards for 2001 to 2002. Versions and merchandise. Multiple versions of Kingdom Hearts have been released. The first was the original Japanese release, followed by the North American and PAL releases, which includes additional content. The game was later re-released in Japan as Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, which features the content of the North American PAL release, as well as more new content. Both Square and Disney also released numerous types of merchandise before and after the release of the game. Merchandise ranged from toys and figurines to clothing items and books. Like the Final Fantasy games, Square released an Ultimania book on Kingdom Hearts in Japan following the release of the game and a revised edition following the release of Final Mix. In North America, a strategy guide was released by Brady Games. It featured a comprehensive walkthrough and a sticker activity journal. A manga series based on the game was released in Japan and the United States. A novel series also based on the game was released in Japan. It was authored by Tomoko Kanemaki and illustrated by Shiro Amano. The novel series consists of 2 volumes and was released in North America on March 25, 2008. Final Mix, originally released only in Japan, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix has several events and a number of gameplay tweaks that are not in previous releases. Spoken dialogue is in English, with Japanese subtitles. New scenes, clarifying certain plot points, such as Riku's journey and foreshadowing of Kingdom Hearts 2, were included. A gameplay option allows the player to skip cutscenes after seeing them once. The optional bosses first included in the English version were introduced to Japanese players for the first time, along with a new fight against Unknown Man, in an attempt to raise interest for the sequel. In another attempt at foreshadowing, a video titled Another Side, Another Story a Deep Dive plays at the ending of the player accomplishes certain tasks. New music tracks incorporated Wood disappeared, and Another Side. The Night on Bald Mountain, and One Winged Angel tracks from the English version were included as well. Other changes include new abilities, new weapons, new items, additional unrecolored enemies, and gameplay tweaks to make the game easier for the player, along with 2 new levels of difficulty. When first released, Final Mix included either a deck of Kingdom Hearts cards or special music CD. A limited Platinum Edition version of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix was later released with an action figure of Sora, a sticker set, and sketches of some of the main characters. It was released for the first time in North America, Europe and Australia as part of Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. Manga: the game was adapted into a manga by Shiro Amano. The story follows the events that took place in the game with a few minor differences to account for the loss of interactivity a video game provides. Some events that took place in the Final Mix version were also included. The manga was originally serialized in Japan by Enterbrain's Famitsu PS2, but has since been released worldwide in 4 volumes. The volumes have been published in English in the United States by Tokyopop. The first volume was released on October 11, 2005, and the 4th volume was released on July 10, 2006. The entire series was later released in a box set on October 10, 2006. The manga series has had moderate success. The first volume was ranked 95th in USA Today's Top 150 bestsellers during the week of its release. IGN praised Amano's artwork and commented on wanting to replay the game after reading. They criticized the lack of new content and stated the transition from game to print lost most of the story's appeal. The series was followed by others based on the game's sequels, Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2, HD 1.5 Remix. During August 2011, Nomura expressed desire to release a high-definition re-release of the game, though he had yet to confirm such plans. In September 2012, Square Enix announced Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix, a compilation for the PlayStation 3, that includes both Kingdom Hearts Final Mix and Kingdom Hearts 3, Chain of Memories in HD and trophy support. The character models from Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance are being used as a base for the game's characters. The gameplay of the original Kingdom Hearts was modified to play more like Kingdom Hearts 2. Additionally, the collection includes HD cinematic scenes from Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days. It was released in Japan on March 14, 2013, in North America on September 10, 2013, on September 12, 2013 for Australia, and September 13, 2013 for Europe. In June 2013, Nomura stated that the original game assets for Kingdom Hearts had been lost some time ago. He explained, "The game data was lost, so we had to research, and we had to dig out from the actual game what was available and recreate everything for HD. We had to recreate all the graphics and it was actually not that easy." Sequels. Kingdom Hearts was followed by several sequels, becoming the first game in the Kingdom Hearts series. It was followed by a direct sequel, Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, on the Nintendo Game Boy Advance, which was released in Japan on November 11, 2004. Kingdom Hearts 2 is the third game in the series, set 1 year after Chain of Memories, and was released in Japan on December 22, 2005 for Sony PlayStation 2. Like the first game, it was re-released as Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix alongside a Picosecond 2 remake of Chain of Memories. A Kingdom Hearts game was developed exclusively for Vcast, Verizon Wireless's broadband service, and was released on October 1, 2004 in Japan and on February 4, 2005 in the United States. In November 2008, Kingdom Hearts Coded was released for mobile phones in Japan. The game takes place after the events of Kingdom Hearts 2. An intercal entitled Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days was developed for the Nintendo DS and released in Japan on May 30, 2009 and in North America on September 29, 2009. A prequel was released in Japan on January 9, 2010, entitled Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, for the PlayStation Portable, which takes place 10 years before the events of Kingdom Hearts. The following title in the series was Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance for the Nintendo 3DS, released in 2012. At E3 2013, Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced to be in development for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. References. External links, Kingdom Hearts Japan official site, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix Japan official site, Kingdom Hearts Europe official site, Kingdom Hearts North America official site, Kingdom Hearts at the Internet Movie Database.